I need to use my AirPods?
No, I don't think so.
Was there olive oil and blackening spice based on those plantains before I moved?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to A Day in the Kitchen with me, OG Jaja. Today we're going to be preparing blackened snapper and also blackened roasted ripe plantains. We're going to do that with a cucumber and tomato salsa, which we're also going to use some local citrus. We have lemons that we got from the market, some oranges. We're going to add some capers and olives to this to add some depth of flavor to the dish. And I'm really hoping that you guys like it once it's done. Alright, so I want to start off by saying that we're utilizing a lot of local ingredients. So with the plantain now, we're gonna do it's like a plantain and papillote, so which is exactly what it is, plantain in paper. So we're gonna roast it in the oven instead of roasting it inside of the skin, as a lot of us are possibly accustomed to doing. I am going to cut out cylinders from this once it's already roasted, and we're going to place these inside of the paper. We're going to drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil. So what we did was that we cut out a heart shape out of parchment paper, right? And in doing that, we'll be able to create a nice little pocket. So I have our plantains, which are gonna go right in the middle. I'm really hoping, let me just put one in for now, right? We're gonna do one, we're gonna drizzle it with some olive oil. Now we have a flavored olive oil that we use here. This one has fresh thyme and pimento in it. So we'll use that to drizzle. We'll use some of our blackening spice, which I'll just put a little bit inside of this ramekin. And this is just so that we're not putting it back, we're not using our dirty hands inside of the bottle. And we season this liberally with the blackening spice. To that, I'll add a little bit of salt, and then we'll wrap this, all right? Now the wrapping process, it starts from the top up here. So let me just turn that around so you can see. And what we do is we start off by creasing, and then you crease again. Hopefully you guys are seeing this. And so the creases, you'll notice, overlap. And what that will do is that it will create a seal for the plantains to kind of, what's gonna really end up happening is that they're kind of gonna steam inside of this. And it's a nice way to cook fish. You could do chicken in something like this as well. It helps to keep a lot of the moisture in. And then it also looks really attractive once you take it out, and if you want to present it, you could actually present it in the paper itself. So we're just gonna keep creasing this until we go straight up, we get all the way to the bottom. And because we're doubling over these seals, it's actually gonna airlock the parchment. And once you get to the bottom, which is the end, all you need to do is to twist. All right, and there you have it. We're gonna put this in an oven at about 350 degrees. And it's gonna be in there for, I don't know, until it's cooked, maybe another 15 or 20 minutes. While that's working, we have our snapper. That I'm gonna just season so that it can start absorbing some of that blackening spice. I had placed it on paper to remove a lot of the moisture from it. We'll use the same blackening spice that we took out a while ago. And you want to season evenly, so you want to try to stay as high as you can without making a mess, of course. And have the blackening spice kind of evenly coating the fish. There you go. So I'll just allow that to sit there for a while. I'll season the other side a little bit later, but the only thing that we're going to use on the other side is salt. All right. Once we're searing it, that's when that seasoning will happen. For the time being, we're going to have a pan that is getting warm. And in the time being, while that's happening, we're going to make our cucumber salsa. So we're starting out with, we had some cucumbers that were diced, tomatoes. Cucumbers, as you know, are really inexpensive right now in the markets. Likewise, tomatoes, you know that there's a glut in Jamaica right now. We're gonna add the tomatoes, the cucumbers, the olives. The olives would have been soaked to remove some of the brine that it's in. We're adding capers. Same thing would have happened for the capers. Because there's salt already in the capers and the olives, we're not necessarily going to need to add any salt to this salsa. I'm adding some red onions that were brunoise. Adding a good amount of that because it's really going to add some really good flavor to this dish. I have some Scotch bonnet pepper that will also be added. Now this you can add as much or as little as you like. I'm gonna add quite a bit because I really like spicy. And then we have some lemon wedges. Oops. That we're gonna squeeze over this. This is really gonna give it some nice brightness. Try to take out the seeds out of these lemons before because it's kind of hard to find them if you squeeze and they get mixed into your product, like this one. We're gonna add some olive oil to this. It's gonna be about a tablespoon. Right down. I'm gonna stir this up a bit, and we'll just allow this to marinate or at least until the fish is already cooked. Right, there you have it. Very attractive. We're gonna add some orange segments to that a little bit later as well, which is also gonna add some sweetness to the dish. So time for our snapper. So how we're gonna do this is over medium heat. You don't want it to get too hot. We're gonna add a little bit of, we're using coconut oil here. You just want enough oil to cover the bottom of that pan. You always hear me say, wait until it starts to smoke a bit before you add the fish in. Just because that will help to create a sear that's going to stop the fish from sticking to the pan, especially if you're not using a non-stick pan. So you can kind of see waves coming up from it now. I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up, but we at this point are able to add the fish in. You'll realize that the oil is also separating and moving away from each other, so you'll see like those bald spots. Just want to make sure that those are covered and that we put the fish in. All right. Nice. While that's in there, we're going to add a little bit of salt to the top of this fish. So again, it's blackened snapper that we're making with cucumber and tomato salsa. And you don't want the fire to get too hot because you really want the fish to be cooked by the time you're taking it out. We could add butter to this, but I'd like to keep it a lot healthier this time around. What's happening now is that the spices are toasting, so you're gonna get really great depth of flavor coming out in the dish. Fish is one of the favorite dishes that I like to prepare, and it's because it's so delicate and it's light, it's local, of course, and I believe it's healthy. It's one of the healthier options for dining. I'm gonna check on this plantain in here. What you really want to do is to kind of just touch it to see whether or not it gives a little bit. Right now it's still a little bit hard in there, so we're gonna have to leave that for a little bit. However, our fish is just about ready to be turned. And we're gonna use our fish spatula. And you realize that it's not sticking at all, which is what we want. You see that nice golden crust? Exactly what we're looking for. Really want is that we want fat fish on the plate, so that it really comes across in terms of the flavors. Our salsa is just about ready. And remember that what's in here is olives. So we have green olives, we have some cucumbers, tomatoes, red onions, a little bit of lemon juice, some capers, and olive oil. And we put quite a bit of Scotch bonnet pepper inside of it as well. All right, so let's start our plating process. I don't particularly want a lot of the juices out. However, if you would like to, you can definitely put those out on there. I'm going to do this to the center of the plate. And all of this should go, because the truth is that it's really a salad that we're preparing with fish as the protein. We're gonna add our plantains. Yes, camera tricks, because so we'll know. I'm going to put one piece of plantain on this right now. As you can see, it's nice and pliable. I'll probably add a little bit more olive oil to this. And our snapper is just about ready. Before that, let's put some orange segments on the plate. It's going to be a really refreshing, light salad, but definitely satisfying. And our fish. Now you will notice here that you'll see some of those white juices coming out from the top of the fish. It will either come out at the side or the top, wherever it can. But once you see that coming out, it's an indication that the fish is just cooked. All right, and you really don't want to overcook fish, guys, because once you do, then it becomes very trashy. I know some of us would really prefer to have fish that's well done, but I really like it when it's very light and succulent. We're gonna just top that with some fresh cilantro. And I can't imagine that this should need much more than that. Maybe a little bit more olive oil. And there you have it. This is our blackened snapper with blackened ripe plantains that have been roasted, and a cucumber and tomato salad with orange segments, a little bit of capers, olives, Scotch bonnet pepper, olive oil. Guys, this is, I can't even tell you, it's definitely good though. I have a little bit more lemon juice. If you'd like, you could actually squeeze a little bit of lemon juice over the fish, which is also gonna kind of brighten it up a bit. It's an awesome salad for the summer or for a hot middle of the day salad that you want to have. Very, very simple to create. And remember, blackening spice you can find in supermarkets across the island, Lashusan, John R. Wong, Select Grocers, Progressive, Ocherius, and Montego Bay. So go out and pick up a bottle. Of course, you know we have our other condiments as well that would work really well. I thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm hoping that you have fun with this dish. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye. Wow.